on sexual health in the Pundit Show. Myself, Harish Mehta, working as a marketing manager in the InnoCare Life Sciences, and today is my privilege to introduce both the doctors. First, our moderator, Dr. Ritu Santwani. She is MBBS, MD, obstetrician gynecologist. She is IVF infertility specialist. Dr. Ritu Santwani is 20 years veteran of obstetrician and gynecological services. Dr. Ritu Santwani is specialized in the test tube baby and each and every aspect of infertility and provides a comprehensive services in IUI, IVF, ICSI, assisted hatching, egg donation, embryo donation, surrogate motherhood, male infertility, natural infertility treatment, semen banking, embryo freezing, sexual and psychological problems. And Dr. Ritu Santwani is always gives moral and emotional supports to our all infertility patients. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you, Harish, for your kind words.
Today's Pundit is Dr. Sharmila Majumdar. Dr. Sharmila Majumdar is one of the first certified female sexologists in India who is specialized in female and male sexual dysfunction and mental health. Dr. Sharmila Majumdar has done her MS in human sexuality, MPhil in psychoanalysis, PhD in cognitive behavior therapy in sexual maladaptive behaviors, and finally her fellowship from the Mount Sinai School of Medicine, USA in treatment of resistance depression. Dr. Sharmila Majumdar is a director and senior consultant sexologist at the Sexual and Mental Health Clinic, Abyss Hospital, which is located at Hyderabad, Jubilee Hills. Dr. Sharmila Majumdar has won an award for the best presentation in female sexual dysfunction in National Conferences of Andrology in India. She was conferred with the title of the most promising sexologist and psychoanalyst in India 2017. On the 1st July, the National Doctors' Day, she was awarded as the best sexologist in Hyderabad by the Healthcare Minister of Telangana. Dr. Sharmila Majumdar has almost 20 years, more than 14 years experience, and her primary motto is optimal sexual and mental health in men as well as in female. Welcome, ma'am.
Thank you so much. Thank you so much. I'm humbled.
This webinar is organized by the InnoCare Life Sciences for the maker of eDrive and eDrive C. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you.
Over to you, ma'am. Ritu, ma'am.
Yeah. Thank you, Harish. Thank you, Harish, for kind introduction. A big thanks to Harish, Sankalp, Dipenji, and Mr. Lalit Wadhwan, who are constantly supporting this program. A very warm welcome, Dr. Sharmila, to this program. Yeah. So, as friends, all of you know, the Pundit at Dr. Ritu show. In this program, I am interviewing the person who are very knowledgeable, who are very passionate about their work, and who always believe that knowledge is always increases by sharing. So, I'm thankful to Dr. Sharmila that she accepted our invitation. So, friends, most welcome, Dr. Sharmila. So, friends, as all of you know, this time is due to Corona pandemic. There are so many confusions, so many persons are depressed, and so many problems they are facing. So, today we are going to discuss with us, with our stalwart, Dr. Sharmila. She is going to tell us about the impact of the coronavirus, what's the effect on the sexual health. So, very warm welcome, Dr. Sharmila. With your permission, shall I start the happy
Please, ma'am. Please, ma'am.
Yeah. So, the very first question, which is very common misnomer in these days, what's your opinion? Is the COVID-19 is sexually transmitted?
A very warm welcome to all the participants. I thank InnoCare from the bottom of my heart for supporting me. And it's been a very mutual journey. And I am very happy to meet Ritu ma'am. I hope we have a very strong relationship in future with regards to our profession. Yes, coming back to your question, ma'am, is coronavirus COVID-19 sexually transmitted? So there is no evidence that points out to Corona-19 being a sexually transmitted disease, infection. It is not really transmitted through sex. It is transmitted through droplets. That is when we speak or sneeze or cough. But yes, some men have found while after testing, there has been some viral load in their semen. So more research is needed into it. But right now, it is a respiratory infection, ma'am.
Yeah.
It isn't a sexually transmitted disease.
True. So there are some literature has also come that it is spreading. In some cases, are reported spreading by the kissing and smooching. So, what's your opinion in that case?
Any fluid transmission will poses a risk, be it kissing or vaginal fluid or seminal fluid. It is better if you do not participate. If one of your partner, your husband or wife, does show symptoms of coronavirus, it is always advisable not to participate. There are several other ways to show intimacy. Write a letter, go for a virtual date, cook for each other, dress for each other, play music, talk it through. This is a very good time to bond. So what is intimacy? There is physical intimacy and emotional intimacy. So right now, focusing on emotional intimacy, since we are amidst a pandemic, it's not a small thing. It's a communicable disorder. So yes, through kissing, through anal sex, through oral sex, it's very much, it can get transmitted.
Yeah. Thank you so much.
Even if both the partners are healthy, there's just single partner, they can have sex, but with protection like condoms, lubricants, dental dams. They need to have a hot shower before and after sex. The place where they have sex, it has to be completely sterilized. So there are certain things that needs to be followed. It's not that you cannot have sex. Absolutely, you can with these precautions, and in between individuals who do not have any symptoms in your home.
True.
You should cut down the number of sexual partners completely. Abstinence is much better. Self-stimulation, masturbation is even more better right now until we can suppress this pandemic.
Yeah. Thank you so much. My other question, what's your opinion regarding about snuggling?
Well, this is not the time to stop snuggling. So any family member who do not show symptoms, they can obviously snuggle, but immediately after that, but no kissing and all. You can just, sanitize your hands and you can hug each other, and you can do that. But you need to maintain precaution, because we never know where the strain is. It can come from outside. It can be there for a number of hours alive. So we need to be cautious, but you needn't really stop snuggling as such, because this is the time where Jadoo Ki Jhappi will work.
True. Yeah. Thank you so much, Dr. Sharmila. Very crisp answer. Now, my other question. In these days, as we are saying, all are suffering from this mental pressure, and due to this, and some partners are stuck somewhere due to the lockdown time period, and there is some isolation. So, what's your experience in this time duration? Do you find the incidence of sexual dysfunction is increased?
I would like to focus on women and children's health. So it has definitely got affected, be it isolation, because they're away from the norm. It's a new normal now. So kids are not going to school, women are not going to work, or some are even there with their partners for months together. So that gives a scope for fighting and having misunderstandings, and also gives a scope for domestic violence. So in such cases, women and children are at risk, and they should seek help from friends and relatives. They should keep all their IDs in place. They should seek a medical practitioner's advice for the injuries, if at all they have. Now, coming back to isolation between couples, they can do it virtually, just the way we are. They can talk to each other virtually. They can maintain an affectionate relation, because we all know how serious it is. Every layman now, in these 5 months, kuch to andar gaya hoga ke it's a serious disorder. So via computer, they can go for virtual dates. Technology has endless opportunities which they can explore, and they can definitely, yes, they can definitely take advantage of.
Yeah. Thank you. As in my infertility practice, we find a very, very good result. Some of the patients who have we have planned for the IVF and IUI, the chances of spontaneous conception are very much increased. So in your practice, what you have found is the patient is still coming at the lockdown time period also for the sexual.
I have moved on to online consultation in the safety of my patients as well as my staff both, because we don't want to take any kind of risk. So right now, even elective surgeries have been stopped. Only emergency surgeries are being taken. But 25 million Indians, as per World Health Organization, have been deprived of contraception, easy contraception, because of this pandemic. And that's the reason why you will see a lot of spontaneous pregnancies, lot of sexually transmitted infections, lot of other symptoms. This is only because of the pandemic, basically. So availability, to make it available to these women is extremely important. Or men should be using a barrier method. That would also help, because using contraception also lets the load low on the medical practitioner at this time.
True. Yeah.
Because this is not a very ideal time to conceive, in my opinion.
Yes, that's correct.
Because maternal mortality, maternal morbidity, they all increase. Lot of stress, lot of tension for the whole family. It's not worth it. 1 year, if we can have it suppressed, I think it would be really nice.
True. Similarly, we are not also promoting, but if the patient is coming via pregnancy, automatically,
Yes, ma'am.
Yeah. So my next question to you are, what cases you have seen due to this COVID-19 on the female sexual dysfunction?
In COVID-19, basically, I have seen that mental distress is there, isolation is there, and then not having sexual relation, normal sexual relation with a partner, that is there. So these are the type of cases that I've been seeing in the past couple of months in women who are very distressed and who think that there's something very wrong going on, and how long is it going on? Because none of us have the answer to that. All the pundits put together, none of us have, except probably God Almighty, none of us have the answer. So they are like, when is it going to end? When can we have normal relationships? Some are planning a parenthood, which is put on hold. So it's very frustrating after going through the whole IUI, IVF circle and all that. And they themselves have decided that we'll put it on hold. But that's bringing in a lot of frustration and anger in some, and depression in some. So these are the cases that I'm seeing, and female dysfunction is definitely on the rise. As it is, women are considered asexual in our country. And on top of that, this pandemic has made it more so.
Yeah, thank you. As you already told that regarding this online consultation, you already started. So what you find in your practice, the online consultation, people are approaching easily, or we have to motivate them a lot? Or in some cases, I want to add one more thing, or in some cases you want to meet them personally and give them some session in the personal
In these 14 years, ma'am, I have always preferred seeing my patients in person. वो बात ही नहीं रहती, vaginal examination हो या some small procedure हो. I mean, it's always, you cannot compare it. But having said that, online consultation has been extremely handy. Telemedication has been extremely handy for patients as well as for the doctors, because there are a lot of doctors who are ill themselves. We've lost a lot of doctors' lives, and they're in the lockdown. They're, in lot of problems, and so are the patients. They can't make it to the hospital, and the OPD and OPDs are mostly closed. They have been converted into COVID wards and all that. So during this time, online consultation, if you can evaluate and manage the patient, that's more than enough. According to the guidelines of ICMR, the surgeons have to figure a way out, but for consultants, it's still okay. It's still fine. And yes, there has been a rise on the contrary of online consultation during this period, because doctor के opinion तो मैम हम लोग भी लेते हैं.
True.
So
true,
that
true.
is something which is it goes without saying.
True. Yeah. Thank you. My other question on our doctor practice: how you find that this COVID-19 has impact on our practice? Means I'm asking you about your sexologist practice, how it is impacted.
Well, ma'am, first is like examining a patient face to face in the privacy of your chamber, because couples come with a lot of research and a lot of apprehension and a lot of postponement. Jaye ke na jaye, jaye ke na jaye. And I treat dysfunctions, I treat idiopathic infertility, I look at mental health, I look at a lot of infections, HPV, HIV, etc. So, uske comparison mein online consultation definitely is much different in every aspect. I cannot write my files.
True.
That I'm so used to. I'm so used to my pen. I miss my pen. I have to type on an iPad or a laptop, which I'm so not used to. So definitely it has impacted all of us, ma'am. It is just not a national or an international health crisis. It is also an economic crisis throughout the world.
Yeah.
So every professional has been affected, be it an engineer, be it a doctor, be it a sabji bechne wala. Everybody has been impacted very badly in their respective profession. But I'm very sure we'll emerge from it. We can go back to it once we make sure that people are safe and we ourselves are safe.
Yeah. Thank you so much. Mr. Weber, if any questions via YouTube or Facebook, please post it here so I can take that questions. My other question, Dr. Sharmila, can you enlighten us a little bit about the treatment of this priapism?
Sorry?
For this priapism and penile fracture, there are some questions are coming anonymous.
Achha. Well, for priapism, if you are going to take a lot of Viagra, one after the other with alcohol, you would get a priapism. You have to drain out the blood from the penis. It is a very, very dangerous situation where you need to find a urologist immediately who can drain out the blood from your penis in priapism. It's very painful. It can damage the nerves of the penis permanently. Penile fracture is something totally different. When you get hurt in your penis or you're aggressively having sex, it can get bent. So there is, again, a type of a cast which needs to be tied in the penis, which can recover. But priapism is much danger because it plays with the nerves of the penis. And as we all know, being practitioners, that the penile nerves are extremely delicate.
True. Thank you so much. There is one question, I think, comment by Mr. Rahul Negi. He's writing, domestic violence cases are 10 years high during the lockdown period. I think couples are spending more time together. Yeah, both the things are increased. You want to comment anything on this, Dr. Sharmila?
Yes, like I previously told in my session that domestic violence cases are increasing. Women and children's safety is extremely important, and so is a male safety, but perpetrator usually is the man, and on the lady or on the kids, it is a very bad impact. So be in touch with your relatives, with your friends, keep the conversation light, and if at all it is unbearable, it has increased a lot, move to your relatives, parents, friends, any trusted person's home till the situation cools down. Keep all your documents ready, handy, like Arogya Setu, Aadhaar card, etc., etc. And then if there are any injuries, please attend to it immediately. It can be permanent also. With any medical practitioner would be more than willing to help you in these domestic violence cases. If there are injuries, don't neglect them if they are serious or Grivas.
Yeah. So I think with this, we have almost totally complete in the time. So thank you, Dr. Sharmila, for giving your valuable time to us. Is there any question? Yeah. Is there any questions? Vaibhav, can you please copy paste here? Yeah, over to you, Harish. Meanwhile, he's right. No questions. He's writing. Yeah.
Thank you, Dr. Ritu Santwani, and thank you so much, Dr. Sharmila Majumdar, for your valuable time to discuss on this topic. And just wanted to give you last update on the brand which we are promoting in male and female sexual dysfunction, that is eDrive. eDrive basically helps to overcome the physiological and psychological factors which are related to erectile dysfunction as well as a premature ejaculation. So eDrive, which contains high strength L-arginine, that is 5 gram L-arginine. This is the first and the only brand in India available with the high strength L-arginine. And overall formulation increases blood flow to the penile tissue, helps to improve the sexual health, stamina, and performance. And last, it also improves or restores the vigor and vitality in the patients. Apart from this, second brand which we are promoting in male sexual disorder, that is eDrive C, which contains fenugreek, which helps to increase the free testosterone, and also it contains a tribulus which improves the IIF score in the male sexual disorder patient. And eDrive C, that can also be prescribed in female sexual dysfunction where the patient have a low desire, low arousal, low lubrication, and low orgasm, because the fenugreek improves the testosterone, free testosterone level, and that improves the desire and arousal in female sexual dysfunction. As well as we are giving L-arginine, L-citrulline, pine bark. That is the oral combination which helps to gives more arousal and lubrication in female. So this is the overall brand, doctor, which we are promoting in male and female sexual dysfunction. Thank you so much for your valuable time and discussing on this topic. Over to you, ma'am.
Yeah. With this, yes, Dr. Sharmila.
There are a lot of other doctors who are saying that it has been locked or they're not able to enter the chat, the session. I mean, so there's 6 to 7 doctors.
Circulate the link, ma'am. That link will be circulated to all the participants or the people who has not joined.
Achha, why it is logged? But Okay. Otherwise, we have tagged you on the Facebook also. This is going live on your Facebook timeline also, Dr. Sharmila.
Okay, ma'am.
Yeah.
So I can just post it and they can see it on YouTube. Probably that would be ideal, ma'am.
Yes. So with this, friends, we are going to wind up for today's session. Thank you once again, Dr. Sharmila. Okay.
Thank you so very much.
Yeah.
If there's anything, else in sexual health and coronavirus, because this is a very important thing, and these guidelines have been laid by the United Health Nations and the WHO. Whatever I have told. So it's based on their recommendations. So I would sincerely request all the doctors who are present here to convey the same to their patients. I'm sure you all may be knowing a lot of it. And conveying it to the patients by a doctor is much more stronger than reading it in the newspaper or hearing it in the news. Or anything. The doctors must speak up and must tell all our patients and the laymen in general what are the respiratory etiquettes that they need to maintain, what is the hand sanitization that they need to maintain, the physical distancing, which is so very important. At least 2 meters is minimum. I have seen people roaming around without masks. It is a very big risk, not only to themselves, but their whole community, their families. So it's a humble request that all the doctors spread this message to their respective patients and their families. At least that's the least we can do. We are trying our best. Dr. Ritu has come up with such a lovely module where we're trying to do something for our patients. And I really hope everybody will carry a strong message to all their patients. This is my earnest, humble request to all the participants present over here. Thank you so much.
Yeah. Thank you, Dr. Sharmila.
Thank you.
Thank you, Harish, once again. With this, we will wind up today's session.
Yeah.
Thank you to Vaibhav also for a smooth running of the show. Thank you to Dipenji. Dipenji, I think, also joined today. Yeah. With this, friends, we are winding up today's session. Bye-bye. Stay safe, stay healthy. See you on next Friday.